if you can do this, you will also can speak fluent English within 1 month. So today I will tell you how to speak fluently in English within 1 month. So if you want to speak fluent English in a month, then you need to divide your days into weeks. So you will have 4 weeks, and what you need to do in your first week. I want to say that if you want to speak fluent English, then you have to be obsessed with English. So first of all, I would like to tell a story about one of my students. And while admitting to our course, he was constantly tried to speak English, and he was asking every question and his queries in English. So initially I found that okay, so he can talk normally with our own native language, that is in Bengali, but he was not doing that. What he was doing, he was asking me several times, and most of the questions he asked in English. So I found that he was very enthusiastic, and that's the thing you need to learn and you need to have if you want to speak fluent English. The number one thing you need is your dedication. So you have to be dedicated throughout the month so that you can clearly speak fluent English. So without dedication, you cannot achieve anything, right? So if you are not dedicated, first of all, try to be dedicated, and then you can just do these things, then definitely you can also speak fluent English. So it's not a big deal. We are scared of speaking English, right? So this is not a big deal. You have to realize that, okay, if I can think about English, then I can also talk in English. So initially, your first goal for the first week will be to listen podcasts. So you cannot imagine the importance of podcasts in speaking. Okay, so if you can listen to the podcasts and you can get their accents and what they are saying, generally we can see any movie or the podcast English, you can listen to that and you can just feel that, okay, I can also do that, I can also do that. So then you have to be a little bit more focused on your study so that you can gradually improve. So you have to expedite and you have to practice speaking English. So just not listening will not work at all. You have to practice to speak English. So how can you do it? You can start with small sentences. So try to make small sentences like okay, so I read the book for 15 minutes, I played in the playground for half an hour. Then what you have do, usually you just need to say that, and then if you can do this for a week, then you can be fluent. Then automatically you can notice small changes and it will help you a lot to stick onto your goal. So in your second week, you need to learn some vocabulary. So there is a technique for learning vocabulary. You cannot just you cannot catch 200 or 500 vocabs at a time. Our brain cannot consume that amount of vocabulary. So there is a particular rule to learn vocabulary, and if you can do this, then you will be easily able to adopt those vocabularies. So you should start reading a topic. First, you read all the sentences from the newspaper or the words you should go through from the newspapers. Then you should note down the unknown words. Then what you need to do, you first of all you figure out the meaning of those unknown words, and then try to add 3 or 4 synonyms and antonyms of those words. And if you can memorize those, then you will have enough vocabulary at the end. Okay, so this is the actual way of learning vocabulary. So when you are going to read a article or a topic, you go and read it all, then figure out the unknown words, and then just try to have the meaning of those words. This will help you a lot, guys. And I can tell you from my experience that you have to bring your madness to learn English. Okay, because if I tell you my story, what I did to learn speaking fluent English, you'll be very surprised to know about my story. So when I started learning and I tried to talk with several people, though they will not be willing to talk with you, and sometimes they maybe remain busy, but you can give them a proposal that, well, if you have a moment, if you have 15 minutes, if you have 30 minutes, please just listen to me. I will talk to you in English, and you can just speak in your native language, and I will answer it in English. So in my initial days, I asked my friends, my families to talk to me in English just for 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day. So I used to call my friends, though sometimes they felt irritated, but I was stick to my goal. So I called every day different friends, and I talked to him for around 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So that helped me a lot to be fluent and to have the words And after that, in your third week, you need to increase your amount of sentences. Okay, so in your third week you should try to speak long and long sentences so that it can help you to speak continuously for around 20 minutes and 30 minutes, or you can, if you can practice, you'll be able to speak non-stoply. Okay, so try to practice this, and this helps definitely a lot. And in your fourth week you should try to attempt speaking English for around 1 hour. So what I have did, I can say that when I was trying to be fluent in my English, I started to take challenges. Okay, so I started to teach my students in English. So in my early days, I talked to my students in Bengali. But when I found that, okay, I should be more fluent, because if you do not practice regularly, then what happens? Actually, fluency decrease. So I started to take classes in English, and I started to talk for around 1 hour, and that was very difficult, I will say. But if you can try and if you can stick to your goal, then definitely it is possible, and you can do it within 1 month, guys. Just try it. It's not a big deal. If you just try, and if you remain focused on your goal to speak fluent English in 1 month, it's definitely possible, I can say that. So please, let's give a try, and you can also do it within a month. So the final suggestion I would like to tell that, so listening podcast is very important, because this will give you words, right? So if you can listen to the Economist podcast, or you can listen to any podcast that is spoke in English, then I think it will help you a lot. Secondly, you should be desperate to speak in English. Okay, so if you are not dedicated enough, actually what will happen, you will try it for 2 or 3 days, and then automatically you will lose your interest. Okay, so I will suggest that be dedicated. And the third thing, you need to attempt for small period of time to talk in English with your friends, with your family, or with your near ones, so that they may laugh on you, but you should not be shy at all. So you should try to practice and just remain focused on your goal. And the final thing is to give a try to take challenges and try to speak continuous English. And if you can try within a month, it is possible to speak fluent English. That's all. Thank you.